Redwire. This is one of those stocks where you'd think the story is simple, right? Space company, satellites, hardware, maybe sprinkle a little defense exposure on the side. But that's not really the story anymore because Redwire has quietly turned itself into something much bigger. It's now sitting at the intersection of space infrastructure, autonomous systems, military drones, and even defense technology. And that matters because investors have already started paying up for the bigger story. So the question isn't just whether Redwire has any exciting technology. Sure, it does. The real question is whether this company can turn all of that promise into profitable growth before the stock gets too far ahead of the business. And that's why in this video, I'm going to break down 3 things. First, why Redwire's defense expansion could completely change how investors look at the company. Second, why the original space business may still be more important than many of us realize. And third, how all of that could affect the stock as it turns backlog, contracts, and growth into real earnings and cash flow. Now, in case you've never met me before, my name is Rick Orford. I'm a Wall Street Journal bestselling author. I've been trading since 1999. And no, I'm not a financial advisor. That is a good thing. I break down the numbers so retail investors like us can make smarter, more confident decisions with our money. I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. The Motley Fool is a company that provides investing insight and stock recommendations for investors of all skill sets and risk levels. And you all know how much I love researching new stocks and trying to find the next best investment. So I'm proud to partner with The Motley Fool to bring you 10 stock picks from their popular product, Stock Advisor. Stock Advisor has beaten the market by almost 6 times. Go to fool.com/RickO to get your 10 stock picks right now. Redwire's an aerospace and defense technology company that's operating at the intersection of space infrastructure, autonomous systems, and military technology. For years, many investors viewed Redwire mostly as a space company. That meant satellite components, deployable structures, microgravity research, and other mission-critical hardware, all used in space programs. And that business, it still matters. But the company has changed a lot. The biggest strategic shift has come when Redwire acquired Edge Autonomy. That deal expanded Redwire's presence in defense. It brought in battlefield-tested drone platforms, intelligence and surveillance capabilities, advanced optical sensors, and of course, autonomous systems used by the US and allied military customers. So Redwire is no longer just a space infrastructure story. It's becoming a broader space and defense technology company. And that's important because the company now has exposure to several large growth markets instead of relying on mainly space economy alone. You'd have thought the market would take its time pricing it in, right? But Redwire's already gone through a major repricing. Investors have started assigning more value to the company's defense expansion, growing backlog, and broader role across space and military tech markets. And that kind of momentum can be very exciting. But it also raises the bar, because once a company gets revalued around the bigger long-term story, the business has to prove that that story can show up in revenue quality, margins, cash flow, and eventually sustainable profitability on the bottom line. So let's take a look at the financial picture. So Redwire is still in the transition phase. The company has shown rapid revenue growth, improving gross margins, and a sizable contracted backlog. That all suggests that demand is real. And it also suggests that Redwire may be benefiting from stronger demand and a more favorable business mix following the Edge Autonomy acquisition. But there's still a big issue here. Redwire is still unprofitable, and that's the central problem that investors need to decide on. It would be one thing if the company was growing quickly, expanding margins, and already had products producing consistent profits. But that's not where Redwire is yet. Some of the company's reported losses have been tied to transaction-related activity, sure. But the bigger issue is that investors still need to see whether backlog growth and contract wins can actually turn into sustainable earnings and cash flow. Because the bull case isn't simply that Redwire wins more business. The bull case depends on whether Redwire can scale that business efficiently, integrate its defense operations, and convert growth into durable cash flow. So let's have a closer look. A few years ago, most investors viewed Redwire primarily as an infrastructure space company. Now it's got meaningful exposure to both the space and defense technology markets. So let's start with defense. The Edge Autonomy acquisition significantly expanded Redwire's presence in autonomous systems, military drones, and even battlefield intelligence platforms. And this matters because modern warfare is becoming more autonomous. Governments around the world are investing heavily in surveillance systems, intelligence gathering, battlefield networking, and even lower-cost autonomous platforms that can operate in contested environments. Demand for these systems has increased substantially over the past couple of years, and Redwire now has products that directly participate in those exact markets. So the most important signal to watch is whether Redwire can turn early deployments and initial awards into repeat orders and larger production programs. To me, repeat orders are often far more important than the initial awards. I mean, winning a contract is great, but getting additional orders tells me that customers are finding value in the products and continuing to deploy them across their platforms or operations. And that's the kind of follow-through that investors need to watch. Because if Redwire can keep turning pilot programs and initial deployments into larger production contracts, the defense tech segment could become a much larger contributor to revenue over time. But I also think many investors are overlooking Redwire's original space business. Before Edge Autonomy, Redwire built its reputation supplying critical infrastructure that's used throughout the space industry. The company provides deployable structures, spacecraft systems, avionics, sensors, payloads, guidance systems, and other specialized tech that helps satellites and spacecraft operate once they reach orbit. And that distinction is important. Redwire isn't competing directly with launch providers. No, it's selling many of those mission-critical components that make space missions possible. So if commercial space activity, national security space programs, and satellite deployments keep increasing, Redwire gets to benefit regardless of which company actually launches the spacecraft. And that's a much different position than simply betting on one rocket company or one launch provider. Another interesting opportunity is its microgravity research and manufacturing segment. Redwire already supports microgravity research through specialized research and manufacturing platforms used in orbit. Now, I know that might sound a bit niche-y today, and honestly, it probably is. But the long-term implications could be much larger than many of us realize, and it's discussions like these that happen every single day in my community that's exciting, because investing is more about forward thinking rather than current standing, right? If pharmaceutical companies, biotech firms, and research organizations increasingly find commercial applications for microgravity research, Redwire, well, it could benefit because it already has the infrastructure and the experience to work in that environment. I wouldn't expect this segment to become the primary growth driver anytime soon. No. But it does give Redwire optionality that many defense-focused competitors, they just don't have. And that optionality matters because a company like this doesn't need every single part of the business to become massive overnight. No, it needs the core business and space business to keep growing. The backlog has to convert into revenue, and the smaller opportunities have to create upside over time. Another area worth watching here is secure space-based communications. Governments are increasingly viewing communications resilience, encryption, and space-based network security as strategically important. And this is still an early stage opportunity here, but it does give Redwire exposure to specialized areas of the space economy where technical capability and customer trust can matter much more than scale alone. So when I put all these pieces together, I see Redwire becoming eventually a much broader aerospace and defense tech company than it is today. The defense business could benefit from growing demand for autonomous systems, ISR, and military drones. The space business could benefit from satellite growth, national security space programs, space infrastructure, and specialized research platforms. And if management successfully integrates edge autonomy, converts backlog into revenue, and improves profitability, well, wow, Redwire may eventually be viewed much less as a niche space contractor and more as a diversified aerospace and defense tech platform. But that brings me right back to the risks. Because with Redwire, the opportunity is real, but so is the execution risk. Profitability right now still remains the biggest concern. Despite strong revenue growth and improving margins, Redwire continues to generate significant losses. Investors still need to see evidence that backlog growth and contract wins can eventually translate into sustainable profitability. And these aren't small details. And that's the difference between a company with an exciting story and a company with a business model that can support a higher valuation over time. And integration risk, this is another major factor. The Edge Autonomy acquisition significantly expanded Redwire's defense business, but large acquisitions like this don't always deliver the expected results. Management still needs to successfully integrate operations, scale production, and capture the benefits that justified the transaction in the first place. You'd honestly expect better from a company getting rewarded for a bigger defense story, wouldn't you? So now Redwire just has to show investors, it's got to prove to investors that the deal wasn't just strategically exciting. It has to show that the deal can improve the business over time. And government spending is also a risk because many customers depend on defense budgets, procurement decisions, and contract timing. And this is an important point. Government demand can be durable, but it's not always smooth. Defense and space programs can face delays, budget changes, political uncertainty, and shifting procurement priorities. So Redwire's long-term opportunity may be attractive, but the path from contract wins to recognized revenue and profitable cash flow is not always going to be linear. And that's why valuation matters so much from here. So I wouldn't frame Redwire as a cheap stock. The market is already assigning a premium to the company's backlog, the defense expansion, and the long-term optionality across space infrastructure and defense or autonomous defense systems. And that means investors aren't just paying for what Redwire is today. They're paying for what the company could become if management successfully integrates the defense business, scales production, improves margins, and eventually converts growth into sustainable profitability. And that creates opportunity, but it also creates risk. Because when a stock commands aggressive expectations, good growth is not probably going to be enough. The company also has to execute exceptionally well. So overall, I wouldn't call Redwire cheap. The valuation already assumes meaningful execution and continued growth, and that's where investors need to be careful. A great story can still become a difficult investment if expectations move faster than the fundamentals. Now, if you've been watching Redwire but think right now it's too expensive, maybe you want to buy it 10, 15, 20% below where it's trading today, check this video up here because I talk about how you can sell a cash-secured put on a stock you want to own and potentially get paid to wait for it to come down to your price. And if it does, you get to buy it and you got paid to buy it. And that is a practical way to think about a stock like Redwire because with a company this execution dependent, price matters. The entry point matters, and your patience is going to matter. Now, Wall Street is broadly optimistic about Redwire's transition, and I understand why. The company has exposure to attractive long-term markets, including autonomous systems, military drones, space infrastructure, ISR, secure communications, and specialized research platforms. I also think the Edge Autonomy acquisition gives Redwire access to attractive long-term markets such as autonomous systems and military drones. But that optimism depends heavily on execution. Redwire still needs to prove that its growing backlog can become profitable revenue. It needs to prove that the Edge Autonomy acquisition can be integrated successfully. And it needs to prove that the company can move from promising growth to sustainable earnings and cash flow. So I say I would frame Redwire as an execution-dependent growth story. The opportunity is real. The company's got exposure to several powerful long-term trends, and its combination of space infrastructure and defense tech gives it a differentiated position. But the valuation already assumes that management can deliver on a lot of those moving pieces. For investors, the key question isn't whether Redwire has interesting tech or exciting end markets. It clearly does. The real question is whether Redwire can turn that technology, backlog, and defense expansion into a consistently profitable business. And that's what I'm going to be watching closely. Not just the announcements, not just the backlog, not just the defense story, but whether all of that can flow through to margins, cash flow, and sustainable profitability over time. But now I want to turn it over to you. What do you think about Redwire? Are you bullish, bearish, or somewhere in the middle? Let me know all of that and more in the comments below. And while you're there, if you found the video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe because it helps others find the video, it supports the channel, and it makes sure that you don't miss out on my next deep dive. Well, that's it for me today in this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.